What's up, Tyler? Alright, let's do a quick rundown of what we got going on. Oh, we got ranked matchup number 23 Oregon State at undefeated number 2 Stanford. Or wait, they're on the road, right? That's at Stanford. Is that how that works? At home. Who knows? A+ overall, A+ offense. 2 top 10 points per game offenses going at it. So Oregon State's hosting Stanford. Ovalis. SMU versus Iowa State. Kirby has SMU. SMU has the talent advantage. The number 1 pass offense in the nation versus the 1-1-1 pass offense in the nation. That's a lot of ones. SMU should be favored in that game. Like UNC versus number 3 undefeated Vatech. Vatech, the turnover differential is plus 17 in Vatech's favor. UNC is the worst turnover, almost the worst. Is there only 116 teams in this game? Or is it 126? They're down in the dumps, turnover differential. It's gonna be a tough game. San Jose State at Colorado. This could be one. I mean, neither team is scoring over 20 points a game. Neither team has a good turnover differential. Both teams have a bottom 100 total defense. Both teams have a bottom 90 total offense. Both these teams seem like they suck cock, to be honest. But that could be one of the easiest options in the Pac-12. Another amazingly tough matchup. Number 22 NC State at Clemson. A+ is across the board. Number 1 offense in the nation. Number 1 turnover differential in the nation. Top 8 offense and top 8 defense. Wow, we have some fucking intense matchups. USC at Arizona State, or Arizona State at USC. USC seems to have advantages across the board in that one. Rivalry game as Southern Miss UAB. Southern Miss, the turnover differential graphic seems to be messed up. Southern Miss seems to have a talent advantage overall, but UAB has a better offense. Southern Miss is a top 26 defense compared to, that's offense. Southern Miss's offense, throwing the ball, seems to be just about their only advantage statistically. Minnesota at Ole Miss in a regional broadcast game. This could be a tough one. I mean, pretty even teams, I think. Let's see. Georgia Tech at Virginia. Triple option offense, always does well in the Sims. We'll see. UVA has a slight talent advantage, but I would say this one within the standard deviation of it could go either way. Let's pop back up. Advance that. Alright, they got Cal next week. Let's see how this goes. Wow. Tyler takes down Stanford. I'm trying to see. What a win. What a win for Tyler. Taking down the number 2 team in the nation. Undefeated. That is a huge win. Stanford is stacked. A huge win for Oregon State. They're going to shoot up the rankings. Well, maybe that's a good omen for the users in general. Maybe the users will be rolling in the ranked victories this week. For Miami got a 3-star. Yeah. Oh, I saw UAB one in there. I saw UAB, and I think I saw Virginia too. I didn't catch the stars, but I think I did. The UGA playbook, huh? interesting. I really hope my starting quarterback is back this week. He said he was probable. My backup went 11 for 33 last week. I don't think I'll be able to get away with that against Mississippi State. The UVA playbook, maybe that's a movie. Let's see how far Oregon State jumps from 23. I bet they jump to like 15 or something. Maybe even a little bit higher. Almost there. Reevaluating those impact players. Oh, the check mark is up. And we're uploaded. Okay, there. So close. Ooh, 66 overall fullback committed to Tyler. Nice. And he jumps from 23 to 18. Let's go back and let's look at this game first. Look at this. Wow. I mean, Oregon State was up 14 going into the fourth quarter. Stanford scored a touchdown, but it was a lot of short touchdowns. No touchdowns from outside of 9 yards in the entire game. Makes sense with Stanford. And the way Oregon State plays with 52 rushes compared to 17 passing attempts. Stanford went 9 for 11 on third down. Oregon State only went 3 for 9. You did not miss UNC, Salim. This is the first game we're doing. I always do Tyler's game first because we already know what happened because he used to get when you advance. Oregon State went 5 for 7 in the red zone. The problem, so they must have missed 2 field goals, I'm guessing. Well, let's see what stopped them. Oregon State turned Stanford over 3 times, which seemed to make a pretty big difference. Kind of judging based on all the other stats. Stanford had the better third down conversion rates and our total offense. Turning it over 3 times is a freaking killer. I mean, pretty efficient. 8 for 11 for 107, doing what they need to. Leto comes in and just tosses up a 0.0 on an 0 for 6. That's rough. 0 for 6, he must be the backup. Jefferson, solid game. Madison had 3 touchdowns as well. He just ran all over him. Obviously not a ton of passing. Pass? Hayes had a pick that he returned for 36 yards. See what happened here. So he went 0 for 2 on field goals. 0 for 1 from 29 and in. And then 0 for 1 from 50 and in. 50 plus, sorry. So that leads me to believe that they must do that. They probably went 0 for 1 on fourth. Is that right? Alright, so they missed 1 field goal from inside the 20, but they're only 5 for... It might have been something where they ended the game, right? Where like you're kneeing the ball inside the opponent's 10, or you run out of time before half or something. Trying to figure out how they went. Because they didn't have any turnovers, they only missed 1 field goal in the red zone. Or maybe they were in the red zone, somehow lost like 30 yards, and then missed a field goal from like the 50. I don't know. Let me know if you have any thoughts on how that occurred. That's a mystery I'm trying to... Alright. All right. SMU, they needed this win. They needed this win. 28-21 over Iowa State. Iowa State had a 2-point conversion, and that's how they scored 11 in the fourth quarter. They scored the last 11 of the game. So this one looked like, a 64-yard run. SMU had it in pretty good shape. They let them go a little closer. A spectacular passing game again, 24-36, 4 touchdowns, no interception. That's just amazing how good he is with the ball. Best QB in the nation for sure. Definitely the best user QB, stats wise. I mean, they ran it for 100. They kind of just get bits and pieces on the ground, get what you need to. I mean, what a ridiculous 13 for 32. Putting up stats like my backup QB. Yeah, look at this clown. 24-36, 203, 4 touchdowns. Ridiculous. Good. So efficient. Really amazing. 12, 11, 5. Nothing much happened there. 10 for 95 for Jordan Bell. Spreading the tutties around too. Everybody gets a touchdown. 2 pancakes for him. This guy had a sack and a pick. He had 4 deflections. Roach. No field goals attempted. 4 for 110. 6 for 249. Virginia Tech 51. UNC 27. UNC was up. They had a kickoff. They returned a kickoff 87 yards, which is about as short of a kickoff return as you'll see. Vatek's kicker must not have a huge leg. But they were up 14-7 at the end of one. And then Vatek kind of pounded them after that. They outscored him. I'm not going to do it. They outscored him a lot. Vatek scored, being like they're just scoring all the points here. Like UNC popped in a nice 33-yarder with 42 seconds left to make it a little bit closer, but yeah, well, the Big Ten used to have all these top 3 teams, and I just kept beating them all, so now they're not ranked as high. Pretty even rushing. 16 for 40 compared to 21 for 39. 4 touchdowns. I mean, that's the difference right there. Passing game was not the same. Virginia Tech got out of the red zone 9 times compared to 3 for UNC. 2 picks and a fumble. They did have a 17-yard advantage in punt return yards. You know, small miracles, right? They had more kick return yards, obviously, because they had more kickoff. H. Hooker. Heck of a game. Pat-esque. So, Orton went 16 for 40, 180 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 40% completion percentage. No sacks, though. Again, nobody rushed for over 50 yards. It seems like they just didn't have... they threw 40 times. And they were winning after 1, so it's not like they were suddenly losing the whole game and had to throw. But, there's not a lot going on offense. They had 2 different, 31, 38-yard pass plays. They made a couple plays, but they were pretty significantly outclassed. Vatek moves up to number 2 since Stanford lost. On field goals. Like to see. Look at this. Anton, guys, gets win number 1 on the season. Outscoring Colorado 14-3 in the fourth quarter. 57. Look at that. Two 1-yard runs from T. Pledger. Bring it back. Talk about a needed victory. Going 0-7 is rough. 1-6 also rough, but first year in the Pac-12 was always going to be a grind for San Jose State, just talent-wise. So this is a great win coming back. Down 10 plus in the fourth quarter. Two 1-yard touchdown run. Take the win. Big win for Anton. They ran it a lot. They did throw it 37 times, which is a lot more than I feel like Anton usually throws it. They had 10 more third down conversion attempts than Colorado, but they did a lot better job converting them. 1 for 1 on fourth. You know, one of those probably came on that last drive. Both teams had the same turnover situation. Pretty even game statistically, you know. Anton ran for almost 100 yards more, threw for a couple yards less. The other team committed too many penalties. 11 for 24. He ends so they pretty much split the passing offense down the middle. Now this guy, West, had a much better day. 9 for 16, 86 a touch pick. Compared to 8 for 21 for 7. 38% completion percent. Nevins had a good day. Pledger, the QB. Wait, no, he's not. No. Pledger must be the backup running back. He had the 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. 5 for 1. Not ideal, but 7 for 88 from Lyles. Parkinson's, these with 4 for 30. 5 pancakes for Madison. Sack for Parcells. Pick for Jenkins. 1 for 1 from 22 yards out for Jimmy Arnold. All right, Clemson 45, NC State 24. NC State remains ranked. Dropped a couple spots in the. Yep, this one was, you know, they held after the first quarter, and then Clemson goes 17-7 and 14-0 in the next 2 quarters, and they're just easing away there. Trevor Lawrence is just so freaking good in this game, man. I bet you he had a ridiculous passing. Look at that. 29 of 31, 5 touchdowns, and 386 yards. That's even better than what Pac's QB. They had 5 touchdowns, 2 incompletions. NC State ran the ball better. But 8 for 24 versus he could have gone 14 for 24, 200 yards, and it's still you cannot compete. You can't compete with 2 incompletions and 5 touchdowns. That's like what Tua was doing in like non-conference play last year against Alabama State or the crap teams that are playing. That is a ridiculous stat line. Maybe try Fama-chan. Quarterback? Is he okay? Is there a QB battle brewing at Clemson, guys? Do we have a QB battle brewing at Clemson? Famashan being a more efficient quarterback. No incompletions to 2, guys. I don't know. It could be something to watch down the road. Yeah. So McKay, 33% completions, just not gonna cut it. Person had a solid day, didn't get too many. They spread the carries around. McKay was not efficient. Knight and Pearson almost averaging 6 yards a carry. Good. Just not much passing the ball. 5 pancakes for Gio Gonzalez. Couple sacks. 40-yard field goal. Kick returns. And Dan loses to Arizona State 44-10. Wow. I think we're getting into Lane Kiffin tarmac territory with Dan right now. I don't know if this is a home game or not, but they might be leaving Dan on the tarmac after this one. They go, Dan got raped. That's a very, very succinct summary of the game, Sims. They're down 14-0 right away. They get they're down, they're down 17. They're down 24. They're down 31-3 in the second quarter. They're down 34-10 at half. They're down 31 to. They're losing 31-3 to Arizona State, who's 3-4. They're losing to Herm Edwards right now by that much of a margin. And then they just no USC didn't even score in the second half. I mean, they had under 300 total yards. 29 for 87 is rough. It is not a great day running the ball. 24 for 40 for 209. Yes, that's not like the worst compared to how bad a lot of these passing offenses usually go. I mean, they got into the red zone 3 times, only scored once. 5. Okay, there we go. Found it. 5 turnovers to 0. 3 fumbles, 2 picks. 5 turnovers, man. 3 fumbles. They just had nothing go. 1 for 3 in the red zone with 5 turnovers is all you need to see. So 23 of 37, 202, 2 picks. Like, you know, there's just not good enough. But that's not horrific. You see a lot of worse completion percentages than that. Meryl Streep, 11 for 64. Who had the fumbles? So they had 3 fumbles, and only one of them was from a running back. No, so Daniels is the quarterback. He had a fumble. I'm assuming he got like sack fumbled twice or something. I don't know why else the fumbles wouldn't show up. I guess the receiving fumbles, those count. Who knows? 8 for 80, 5 for 41, 420, blaze it. Fontenot, McBryant, McKenzie all gave up sacks. Just not great. Bush, 31-yarder. It seems like Arizona's D-line just kind of wrecked USC. 5 sacks. Quarterback must have fumbled a couple times. Not a great game overall. UAB 38, Southern Miss 24. Sims wins again over a team with a talent advantage. Look at that. UAB just pounding it with Brown. 1-yard run, 4-yard run, 4-yard run. They have a kicker whose last name is Bourgeoisie, basically. 56 rushes for 286. 4 touchdowns. Southern Miss fumbled twice. They got picked off twice. Sims with a very cautious 10 for 16 for a touchdown and it's 117 yards. It's all you need to do sometimes. All you need to do sometimes. They got into the red zone 9 times compared to 2 for Southern Miss, but they only scored 5 touchdowns and a field goal on those 9 times. It could have been an even worse blowout if it wasn't for that. Wow. UAB. E. John the third. Solid game. 35 for 184 and 3 touchdowns. That's a workhorse back right there. The backup had 6. That's the quarterback, sorry. Had 16 for 69. Stanley 4 for 28. Didn't need to do much throwing the ball. Two sacks for Fenner. Punting, 51-yard punt. Hell of a punt. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck yeah. Just crushed Ole Miss. I thought this would be close. My quarterback is back, which helps. That made a big difference. I really hope T. Smith is an outside linebacker so I can get unlocked from that goddamn kid I'm recruiting that locked me out despite me leading by 2,500 points. I mean, we had an 85-yard pick 6. Bateman looks like he had at least 3 touchdowns. I think he had 4 receiving touchdowns. 15 for 23 for 4 touchdowns. That's as good of a passing game as I've had in a long time. So good to have the starting quarterback back. Glad that we survived without him. We ran for it. We didn't. It was not a huge total yardage. Not a huge total yardage game. I forced 2 turnovers. Didn't turn it over at all. That made a pretty big difference. As turnovers will do. Turnovers will do as they do. L. Berry came in and went 2 for 2 though. Let's see. Yeah, Garber's got some action still. So 13 for 20 for 143, 4 touchdowns. 20 for 121 and a touch, 6 yards a carry. Backup average 5 yards a carry. Rashad Bateman had 6 catches for 4 touchdowns. That dude just loves getting in the end zone, apparently. Loves getting in the end zone. Wow, 4 touchdowns on 6. That's got to be a school record. He had 82 yards. He had 4 touchdowns. And 1 sack given up. I mean, 85 yards would imply that he's probably not a outside linebacker, because they don't have the speed for that. Just too effing bad. No field goals attempted. Bateman had a couple kick returns too. Doing it all. And look at this big win for Jimbo Slice. UVA takes down Georgia Tech to improve to 4-3. Scored on a long bomb, 53-yard passing touchdown. They were up 14-3 going into the 4th quarter. Georgia Tech made a run. They were up 21-3 in the 4th quarter at one point. Georgia Tech has a guy whose last name is Dolphin. God, look at the total yards here. 426 to 300. 224 to 140. 202 to 160. And they went 3 for 3 on 4th down. And they did better in the red zone. And it was the same amount of turnovers. What was the 3rd down? Neither team did great on 3rd down. And they had more 1st downs. 51 yards on an average of 7 punts. Georgia Tech punted 3 less times. What am I missing? I don't know what I'm missing here. I mean, 1st downs, total yardage, rushing and passing yards. Maybe slightly worse on 3rd down, 3 for 3 on 4th. They missed a 2-point. Who cares? Red zone, they went 2 for 4, or 3 for 4 with a field goal instead of 1 for 2. Beach had a turnover. They punted 3 less times. I don't know. They had more time of possession. Interesting. That's one where the stats don't quite line up. Passing 9 for 28. That's pretty much like what our quarterbacks do around here, to be honest. It's like an average game for our quarterback. 12 carries each. One of them had 72 yards on 12 carries. One had 24 yards on 12 carries. Maybe we start Salah Hutton from now on, James? Maybe we start Salah Hutton? Seems to be having a little bit. I know, Sim. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense how he won. Like, the stats. I could look at these stats for an hour and not understand exactly why they did better. One for 51 from Peacock. Deep threat. Blankensmeyer gave up 3 sacks by himself. Oh, Salah Hutton is your starter. That makes sense. Call James. Keep starting him. Bratton had a pick. Gam had a sack. 13 for 33 from Jimmy Graham. Alright. That's the last week. We can do a quick look ahead since we're here. USC at Arizona. Minnesota at Purdue. Pittsburgh at Virginia. NC State, North Carolina. 2 teams that are moving in different directions right now. Cal at Oregon State. San Diego State at San Jose State. Rivalry game. Florida International at UAB. Tech at SMU. So, easier matchups next week. We'll just go down the line here. Top 25 polls. Florida's the #1 team in the nation. Virginia Tech's #2, Texas #3, and then we're out of the undefeateds. Minnesota moved up 1 spot. Wake Forest was undefeated until this week. They lost to Boston College. Iowa, Wisconsin, Oregon State at #18 after their big win. Ball State, #19, sitting at 6-1. Kansas won again. NC State sneaks in there at #25. Nobody else receiving votes. So Minnesota sneaking up to #10 in the media poll. UAB is not receiving votes, what I can see, on the coaches poll. Sorry, Sims. No love. I agree. You guys started way down there. So Stanford still leads the Pac-12 North, but Oregon State does have the tiebreaker over them now. But they still got to win 2 games to get to 6-1. San Jose State is in the cellar. UCLA and USC. I mean, this is pretty muddled here. Every team has either 2 or 3 conference losses except for Colorado. Don't have any SEC teams. Sunbelt is not where he's in. ACC, Clemson, NC State. Not mathematically eliminated, but it's going to be tough to catch Clemson. Same with Virginia. They're not mathematically eliminated, but they got some ground to make up on Va-Tech. Do we have any teams in the American? Big 12. Kansas State's 4-0. SMU might be out of reach of clawing back Tech to go to back-to-back conference championship games. Sitting at 4-0. I have Nebraska and Iowa to play still, though, and Wisconsin to play. So, we'll see. Conference USA, Marshall and UAB. When do they play? Let's find out when they play. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, UAB Marshall. Should be a good game. Am I? Oh yeah, dude, that took me till the last week of the season last year. So, moving in the right direction. Next up, with the Heisman Watch, do we have any users in here? We do not. Ellinger, some turd from Tulsa, Sean Corbin, Trevor Spates at Stanford, Adrian Martinez at Nebraska. Good job, Sims. Maybe this move is gonna be like a godsend, actually. We can. I mean, I don't never really like to check championship. It doesn't change that much. Ooh, I'm up to A-. For that. Just wait till 2018, guys. SMU, USC. I guess we can just look at it to see how far. So North Carolina's at 88. San Jose State's at 107 after their big win. 60. Yeah, Sims, you're still at 66 right now. You're like way out of receiving votes, which is pretty wild for being 6-1. But you got a 1-star prestige. So you got a little bit of ground to make up still. You might be undefeated. You might win out and not get ranked based on that. And Idaho is the worst. I don't need to see any of this. Do we care about toughest places to play? Is anybody even up here? USC's at 21 with a 3-game home losing streak. Whoa. NC State. Minnesota. Oregon State. UNCS. Did UNC end, like, one of us, I think UNC ended their long, now San Jose State has a 5-game home losing streak. That's the longest one we got. If you take down Marshall, that'll shoot you up, because I bet you they're ranked higher than you right now. Shall we check recruiting, guys? Oh, he's got 700 points available. He must have been putting in points on that fullback. USC at number 1. Oregon State at number 3. Virginia at number 8. And we got 4 top 11 classes this year. At 11. And a big drop down to Minnesota at 46. SMU at 52. UNC at 65. San Jose State at 76. UAB at 115. Bring up the root here. See who doesn't have any. Tennessee and Arkansas, no commits. Yeah, I'm good. Anything else that I haven't looked at, guys? Anything else that we're missing here? I think we have a pretty comprehensive snapshot of the week at this point, right? Oh, job security. That's something. I don't think anybody really went. I mean, I think that all the lowest people won this week, right? I'm not 100% yet. I'm going to quit. There we go. Got a cadre of 100%ers. Virginia at 87. San Jose State up to 76. North Carolina 61. These are the only hot seater. I mean, we only have 2 even in low. I feel like we're in such better shape than a year ago. They're just, teams are playing better. It's good to see. And having Sims killing it at UAB changes things. Yeah, I think that unless somebody has a request of stuff to show, I think we've looked at just about everything. Tim's leading the nation in rushing. Good for you. Alright. Good shit, guys. Thanks for waiting up for me this weekend. Until next time.